George Roberts, a 45-year-old man from Portland, Oregon. He's been married to his wife, Sylvia, for 19 years and has 3 children. Michelle, age 10, Ryan, age 13, and Michael, age 18. Michelle has been taking piano lessons for a few years, and her teacher is convinced that Michelle has the potential to play on a professional level and potentially receive great scholarship offers from any college she applies to. Ryan is a very skilled baseball player and has been first-string pitcher for the City League youth team for 2 seasons. Michael has not shown much extracurricular talents like his younger siblings, but he is very smart and is graduating with a GPA of 4.6. He has just been accepted to Oregon State University, but putting Michael through school is going to be very hard on the family. Sylvia was working as a receptionist for a small used car shop, but the store recently went under, and Sylvia was left jobless. She has applied to many other companies, but times are bad, and not a lot of people are hiring. The soonest offers won't take effect for another year, maybe 2. George is now bringing in all of the income for the family as a dental assistant. One day, after work, George went to his scheduled checkup at his doctor's office to look into some intense stomach pains he had been having. After the initial examination, the doctor tells George that he wants to run some tests due to some irregularities in the examination. George's healthcare covers the cost of these tests, so he agrees. The test results are not good. George is being diagnosed with lymphoma. Lymphoma is an aggressive form of cancer that attacks the lymph nodes and the immune system. The tests have revealed that George has a very large malignant tumor in the lymph nodes, and the cancer is quickly spreading to his other organs. The cancer is in its final stages, and the doctor is convinced that chemotherapy would do more harm than good because the cancer has grown too big and spread too far. So the doctor offers him some other medications that will slow the spread, but they are very expensive. Assuming George takes the medication and treatment his doctor offers, within 2 months, George will not be able to work, and within 12 months, the cancer will completely shut down his internal organs. His death will be very slow and very painful. Eventually, George will need to be moved into the hospital for special care. He will become very weak and will need assistance with everyday tasks like feeding himself, going to the restroom, and changing his clothes. It will also be very expensive. If George does not choose to take the medication, he will die much sooner. His life expectancy will be 4 months at best, and his death will be much more painful. George is a good and courageous man, and his family is devoted to serving God. His own life is not his first concern. He's worried about his family. It will be at least a year until Sylvia can get work. Who will pay for Michelle and Ryan's extracurricular activities? Who will pay for Michael to go to college? Who will support the family's everyday needs like food, utilities, and healthcare? The drugs that Michael is taking to prolong his life are very expensive, and it would take all the family savings to pay for a year's worth of medication. George is worried about telling his family this news. George makes the terrifying drive home, trying to decide what to do and what to say. He parks the car and walks in to see his family sitting down for dinner. He is welcomed with hugs from his children as they ask him, "How's your day, Daddy?" George dodges the question and asks Sylvia if he can talk to her alone. He takes her into the bedroom away from the children and gives her the news. She is speechless and overcome with tears. He explains that he does not want to be a burden on the family, and that when the time comes and he can no longer take care of himself, he wants the doctor to euthanize him by using a lethal injection. Oregon is the only state where this can be done legally, but Sylvia is strongly against the idea and doesn't care how much keeping him alive costs. Together, they inform the children, and all of them are firmly planted in their mother's position. George is convinced that being euthanized will be in the best interests of the family. His family, however, is willing to sacrifice anything it takes to keep him alive as long as they can. They also believe that God may choose to heal him. George, however, is not willing to take that risk and wants what is best for his family now. George then suggests that he not take the drugs that will keep him alive. Without these medications, George will die within 4 months. It will be twice as painful, but it will take half the time, and leave enough money for the family to survive.